Hello, human family. How are you? Guys, today I want to talk about the swell guy. The swell guy. That underneath this swell guy is sometimes lurking a monster, a piece of shit. I want to do that using Brian Longtree, or Longtree, I think it is. The guy who strangled his girlfriend, Gabby Petito, which was just horrifying. And just a disclaimer, just in case, a trigger warning. If you're going through any type of abuse or have lost a family member or are in the middle of a domestic crisis, this is probably a video you want to skip. I sincerely mean that. This was such a tragedy. And I remember the first day watching it and seeing it in the news and seeing these two interviewed during their argument, that there was something off that they were missing. That poor girl was being abused and they got it wrong. A few shows ago I talked about reactive abuse. And the reason Gabby was hitting this piece of shit was because he had been torturing her on a road trip for weeks, for months, their entire relationship. I don't know what it's going to take in our society to take narcissists, sociopaths, cluster B personalities more serious. These people are very different than your average human being. Some would question, are they even human? We've got to take a deeper look and call it what it is. We don't like using the word evil for some reason. And I'm not talking about a religious standpoint in that. I'm not a religious zealot. You can even base this scientifically if you do a true analogy of these people and you analyze them and see them at their darkest moments. See them when their bodies change, when their eyes change, when their face changes. See when their personalities completely evaporate and you're talking and facing something that you never knew was there. We don't go deep enough. We don't look at this and take it serious. We are living in a world with two kinds of people. And we have to accept that and acknowledge it. You don't want to keep petting a rattlesnake and calling it a puppy. These people are like gremlins. The more you love them, the more kind you are to them, the more they turn into monsters. This poor girl was being abused, and anyone who is adept in understanding what these narcissistic monsters are would have caught this. And instead of defunding the police, we need to quadruple their funding so they can get the training and the experts that can point out these monsters and weed them out of the police department. The police department is a magnet for narcissists. People just think it's about race. It is not. It's about sociopaths, narcissistic people who have a license to kill. But I'm digressing. But we need to fund more to the police so they can better understand and maneuver through our society with the crazy people that exist in it. These people are very, very different. And they are camouflaged and very good actors. This poor girl didn't stand a chance with this guy. And I don't blame her at all. I don't even blame her parents. And I don't even blame the police officers who charged her. It was a perfect storm in a world of ignorance who cannot differentiate the swell guy from the piece of shit, dark, evil entity that they are. There's an expert from Australia who really broke down clearly what was going on. And I put this on Everything That I Love. She is saying everything that I was thinking when I first saw this clip of the two in their domestic dispute when they were in the van and the police pulled them over. And it breaks my heart that this young woman thought she did something wrong, and she was doing what any sane person would do when they're pushed against the wall. She was lashing out on a man that was emotionally torturing her. It's emotional violence. And that's not like words are violent and all of that far woke, far left bullshit. No. It's much more methodical than that. That Brian, that piece of shit, had studied this young girl and was surgically, emotionally torturing her throughout that trip. So let's take a look at what one of the experts had to say about the journey of these two.
Last week, the world has watched an American tragedy unfold. Gabby Petito and her fiancé Brian Laundrie were a young couple who seemed to have it all. An enduring love for each other and a longing for adventure. A road trip in their little van across the United States. Like so many others, they also had a desire to show off their idyllic and carefree lives on YouTube and Instagram. But now we know the postcard images and million-dollar smiles were hiding an ugly and murderous truth. And it's one that raises a difficult question. Could Gabby Petito have been saved?
Hello, and good morning. It is really nice and sunny today.
Anyone watching these videos would believe Gabby Petito was in awe of the life she'd created for herself.
It's only 10 o'clock in the morning, but it rained all afternoon yesterday.
And why not? Young, beautiful, and in love with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, it looked like the perfect existence.
She was being herself. She was doing what she knew how to do. She was so excited to be on this new journey.
Budding social media stars, Gabby and Brian's ambition was to share every detail of their idyllic lives with as many followers as possible. But away from the smiles and sunsets, there was a much darker.
Do you see the pretend life that they were portraying online? Over 1 million followers on Instagram. Young girls, young boys all over the world with envious eyes, salivating to be just like this couple. But it was all an illusion. The older I get, the more I ponder and wonder why we just can't be honest as human beings about the bad things in our lives, the things that aren't working out, the difficulties. Why must we portray ourselves as being perfect people? This is a cultural thing, internationally. We don't want people to see our blemishes. I'm a part of that. You're a part of that. We're a part of that. But where does that stem from? I believe it stems from the impact that cluster B disordered people have had on our culture, on our ideologies, on our philosophies throughout history. To pretend, to portray something that we're not. We're all hurting. We all get afraid. We're all dealing with difficulty one way or another. It is so sad to see that underneath that the beautiful images and pictures and videos they were posting was a very dark reality. That's one of the reasons that I've chose to come out and share my life story so candidly. So people can find the courage within themselves to be honest about their lives and about who they are and what they've gone through. I only wish that young lady would have reached out and showed some of the things that this monster was doing to her and saying to her. And just one clip would have changed the trajectory of her life. If we just could have saw one clip, one video clip of the Swell Guy and the things he was doing to her and saying when no one was there, people would have reached out and told her to get away. Over 1 million followers on top of the world, but it was all pretend. You see, I just don't say these things for the sport of it. We have to break out of the matrix and stop pretending that there are not two kinds of human beings on this earth. Because when we address these things, we will not see little, young, precious little girls like this dying horrific deaths. Anyone listening, hear me loud and clear. Be hyper vigilant about anyone dating your daughters and your sons. Fuck feelings. Be a spy. Investigate. Know who that son of a bitch is. That's good parenting. That's good friendship. That's good big brother. That's good big sister. Don't assume because he's a swell guy and everybody likes him that he isn't forcing poison into your daughter's mind. Please be vigilant. So let's continue.
Reality.
Tito never goes outside.
Now, Gabby is dead. Brian's missing and wanted by police. And the whole world is watching, trying to figure out where this all went so terribly wrong.
This relationship, it's not just toxic, it's not unhealthy, it's abusive. It's a murder in slow motion.
That was beautifully said. I like that a lot. A murder in slow motion. You see, when we see these types of things on television, we feel so far removed from that. And we think that that could never happen to us. I used to view things like that until I woke up with a monster. Do all of these people kill? Not physically, but slowly they kill potential, they kill happiness, they kill prosperity. They kill slowly. And some feel so emboldened that they actually kill physically. They are so disruptive that you don't want them around the ones that you love. God forbid it gets to this point. But a slow death or a quick death, they're both the same. These people have no conscience. They have no soul. They could give a F about you or anyone else. And it is difficult to see through it if you're not looking for it and if you don't know what to look for. It is imperative that you can see the person who is just so damn nice. And whenever I hear she's so sweet, shy, and humble, and just so quiet, man, my radar goes up. The same thing with a guy. When he's the swell guy and everybody likes him and they want to play golf and go fly fishing with him and he's an excellent hunter and he's the best guy on earth and everybody loves him, my radar goes up. Because there is a high likelihood this person is not being real. This is a fake human being. Perfection is one of those red flags. When everything is so nice and neat and this person has dotted all their I's and crossed all their T's and he's just the best guy you could ever imagine. Holy shit is what I say. I'm watching you the closest. I hate to say that we have to look at people as suspect. But in the world that we're in with our daughters and our sons, we have to. We have to assume that they're a piece of shit. And I know that sucks. I know none of us want to live in that kind of world, but it is that kind of world. That's the world that we live in. And you're saying, well, what are the odds that's going to happen to me? Well, I'll bet you $1 million that's exactly what Gabby's parents thought. And I remember at the peak of my career and when I was getting picked up by limousines, hanging out with celebrities, doing all kinds of things, I thought that I was untouchable. My shit didn't stink. And I was just on top of the world and nothing could ever hurt me or take me down. I thought I was a swell guy in a different way. I thought the world was my oyster and that darkness would never come upon me. And when it all hit the ground, I woke up to I had been surrounded by darkness my entire life. That's why I can't judge the police. I can't judge her parents. Hell, I can't even judge probably one of his parents. These people are hard to detect if you don't know what you're looking for, and if you don't even know they exist. There are very, very, very bad people in this world, and you have to accept that and teach that to everyone you know and love. Because these are called the facts. And as long as you know that they're out there, when you come across them, you're not devastated. It's just like I don't cry when I see a rattlesnake or something. I just avoid it. And if I can't avoid it, then I have to kill it. I have to remove it before it bites me. And that's just a hypothetical analogy. I'm not telling you to hurt anybody unless you have to defend yourself. But my point is that we can't live in a pretend world. We want things so nice and comfortable. We want it to be like the Disney Channel or the Disney World. We want all the bad guys to look this way, all the good guys to look this way. This is bad, this is good. This is good, this is bad. No. Life is not like that. You know why they make the chairs in the 4th grade so small? So we don't come back! This is adult stuff. People are dying. Lives are being destroyed. I am lucky to be talking to you. These people play for pink slips. And they don't give a fuck. We have to grow up and accept a very unpleasant reality and something that is earth-shattering. There are 2 types of human beings walking this planet. And there's one kind that you've never even fathomed. And you interact with them every single day of your life. You just don't know it. And they are as dark and as dangerous as this Brian Laundrie. And they can do anything to anybody. And they just like to do it slowly. They like to hurt people emotionally, physically. They want to see you suffer and perish. What is that called? Evil. And it's darker than the evil that you think. And instead of saying crazy, demented, sociopath, these people are different spiritually. They are from a different kind of cloth. And we have to address that as sane people. But what you can do right now is to be vigilant with those that you love and the people that you let come into your life closely. I just vetted someone that I've known for years and found out she was evil. Had to let her go. These are called the facts. I kind of knew there were some things, there were some red flags there. Then one red flag appeared. I had to go in for the ultimate test. She failed, and I had to part paths forever. There will never be another discussion. There will never be another conversation. I don't waste my time arguing what I know when I see people who want to harm me in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And that's the way that we have to educate and train our sons and our daughters. So let's hear more of what the expert had to say about this horrific event.
This relationship, it's not just toxic, it's not unhealthy, it's abusive. It's a murder in slow motion.
In early July, Gabby and Brian set off in their little white van for a trip like no other. For more than a month, they made their way across the United States, stopping at some of the country's most breathtaking natural wonders, making memories that were meant to last a lifetime.
So, we are right outside Capitol Reef right now in a free dispersed camp spot. And we've been lucky so far at all the places we've stayed, but I'd say this is one of the best so far.
See, doesn't he seem just like the swell guy? Just the nicest guy ever. Even his demeanor, the way that he talks, and just everything about him. But I'm telling you, I won't tell you on the air, I could see some things that would have made him suspect. And I'm not kidding. Would I have been 100% sure just by a visual and him talking? No. But a red flag certainly would have gone up. Everyone on this earth is suspect. Everyone. And when you lose sight of that, that's when you are vulnerable of being a victim of one of these people. It could be a victim of 10 minutes. It could be a victim of 20 years. It could be the end of your life victim. But it is certain, if you do not assume that someone you are starting to get to know and building a relationship may be parasitic, may be a sociopath narcissist, then you are at risk. Should that be the world that we live in? No. Is it the world that we live in? Yes. It would be difficult, just seeing that guy, to not trust him. That's what makes it so fucking eerie when you discover who and what these people really are. And that's why he was able to even fool the police. And the real victim is feeling guilty and crying as if she's a bad person. And that's what the narcissist does. They project who they are on you, and then they try to steal your personality. Have you ever seen, God, I forgot the name of that movie. It was way in the 90s. And about a roommate who took on the personality of her roommate. I forgot the name of the movie. I hate that. I'm having a brain fart. But anyway, these people try to steal the best qualities of yourself and take them from you and destroy you. It's like the invasion of the body snatchers. It is weird. And I'm not kidding you guys. Some of you who have never come across these people think that I'm being far-fetched. No, I am not. And anybody who has been in a deep relationship with one of these monsters knows that I am dropping facts. These people try to steal your identity and end you. That's what my ex tried to do to me. She mimicked my career, the things that I was doing, and tried to put an end to me. And almost succeeded. That's why I know how dangerous these people are. So let's hear what the expert had to say.
On Instagram, TikTok and YouTube, Gabby and Brian gave their followers a carefully curated collection of wholesome and irresistibly sweet videos and happy snaps.
Me and Brian just got up and got ready, made the bed in the tent, set up. I think our plan for today is to just hang out here in the tent. Brian's stretching, doing some morning yoga.
But by mid-August, the couple and their picture-perfect partnership began to publicly unravel.
Hi, I'm calling to report a domestic dispute. They just drove off.
What were they doing?
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
He was slapping her?
Yes, and then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car, and they drove off.
All right, I will let somebody know. Thank you.
It didn't take long for the police to respond to the alarming 911 call.
Currently doing 45 miles an hour. Zone through here is 25. Oh, subject just hit the curb.
With his body camera rolling, this officer captures the unfiltered version of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, the version they didn't want you to see.
What's your guys' names?
Gabby.
I'm Brian. Gabby, Brian? Okay. What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm just crying. We've just been fighting this morning. Some personal issues.
It was a long day. We were camping yesterday, and camping got flies and stuff. I'm sorry I hit the bump there.
I was distracting him from driving. I'm sorry.
Distressed and talking through tears, it's very clear that Gabby is not okay.
I actually have a lot of stuff, so I've been building my website, so I've just been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it, so that's kind of been like a, I don't know, he's like been down there, I don't know, we've just been fighting all morning, and And he wouldn't let me in the car before. And then
Why wouldn't he let you in the car?
He told me I needed to calm down. Yeah. But I'm perfectly calm. I'm calm all the time. And he really stresses me out. And this is a rough morning.
You notice she said he really stresses me out. And she's crying. You see, young people, young ladies, for those of you who are listening and parents of young ladies, there should never be a person at that age and going on an adventure like that is stressing you out. She also said, I don't know if it was in this clip or the upcoming clip, that he doesn't believe that I can build my website and do what I want to do on social media. Anyone that isn't cheerleading you, be it a woman to a man or a man to a woman, is not your friend. And I'm not saying cheerleading you to far-fetched things that you want to be, you want to start on Amazon and make your company better than Amazon. I'm not talking about things that are just so out of reach that it's silly. But if you're going to try to build a website for the first time, your friend, who is your lover, should be cheerleading you on that and telling you that you can do it and how can I help and vice versa. Things should get smoother and easier in a relationship. When it is not, it is time to go bye-bye. Do not waste your time. This poor girl thought that she was doing something wrong for responding to a man who was tearing her down. Any man that is tearing you down needs to go fucking bye-bye. You deserve better than that. And the same goes for a man. A man should be building you up. He should have been telling Gabby, you can do this website. How can I help? If you need this or if you need that, let's go, baby girl. You can do this. That's a friend. That's a partnership. He had been mind fucking her this whole journey. That's what these type of toxic, and I hate that word, but evil, degenerate, vulgar human beings do. They tear you down. They suck out energy. They are dream killers. They are motivation killers. They are happiness killers. They murder goodness. And they do it day by day, drop by drop. And then some of them go over the edge and just go all the way in for the physical kill like this piece of shit did.
Officers checked him for injuries.
You want to tell me about those scratches on your face? She had her cell phone in her hand. That's why I was pushing her away. It's because she wanted me. I locked the keys so I could walk away. I said, let's just take a breather and let's not, go anywhere. Let's just calm down for a minute. She was getting a little worked up, and then she had her phone and was trying to get the keys from me. So I got in the way. I was just trying to. I know I shouldn't push, but I was just trying to push her away to go. Let's just take a minute, step back, and breathe. And she got me with her phone. Can I see your hand?
Bizarrely, the police concluded it was Brian who'd been attacked.
Brian was not the victim. Very clearly to me, everything I was seeing about Gabby's behaviour and demeanour was that she was the true victim.
Like millions around the world, Laura Richards has pored over every second of Gabby and Brian's encounter with the police.
My instinct about what I was seeing on camera was this is bad news. This is not going to end well.
But as a criminal profiler based in the United States, she sees beneath the surface, noticing the subtleties of coercive control and manipulation. What were the red flags for you when you first watched that body cam footage?
When the police pull the van over, he sees Gabby very distressed. She's crying, she's almost hyperventilating. Why was she so distressed? The fact that she takes responsibility immediately, her disposition and demeanour of almost walking on eggshells, not wanting to get him into trouble, they're red flags to me. Why is he so calm? He's apologetic to the police. He's trying to diffuse the situation when police eventually speak to him about what happened, but he instantly puts the blame on her. That's another red flag to me.
Laura has encountered countless incidents of domestic violence and believes the police officers missed an opportunity to stop tragedy in its tracks.
For me, it's a murder in slow motion. This was preventable. This was one human being behaving in a way that was insidious, controlling and manipulative, not just to his partner, but to the police officers. And he clearly lied to the police officers, and they believed everything that he said. That makes me angry.
And it does make you angry when you see such a beautiful young life snuffed out like that. It angers you beyond belief. But what this wonderful expert is missing out on is that when you're dealing with a narcissist and you are a person who is in the midst of reactive abuse and you're fighting back from what they are doing to you, the narcissist can be as calm and charming instantly while you're in distress and you're upset. And to the police officers, she seems like she's a bit psycho because she has been being mentally tortured, I promise you, this entire trip. She's off balance. Her eyes are off balance. Her energy is off balance. The police can feel that she's off balance. Their mistake is that they didn't know she was off balance because of the reactive abuse. That's what I mean by the abuser is the swell guy. And the abused come across as psychotic, off balance, off-putting, a little dizzy, a little crazy. I've been there. I looked at some of the emails I wrote back when my relationship, when I first discovered who and what my ex was doing and what she was doing to my daughter and the things that I wrote to people. I looked crazy. And I was in a crazy mode. Because we're human. We react to the abuse. You don't just stay real calm if you don't know what's going on. You are fighting for your life. You are fighting for other people's lives. And one of the sixth sense that these people have is that they know how to flip the script and make you do and become what they want. It's almost like they have a spell on you. I kid you not. So this poor young girl was so off balance and so confused and feeling so guilty and so bad and believing that she was in the wrong that the police could not differentiate between the two. It's easy for us in hindsight watching a video to say this, that, and the other. But as sad as it is, that's what happened with the police right there. And they even did her a solid by not booking her and putting her in jail and etc. They weren't bad guys trying to punish this young woman. They just didn't understand what reactive abuse is, and they didn't see it clearly. And no matter what, when you're in front of a person and you can feel them, they felt that she was off and he was the calm one because he is the abuser. And that's all that they could go off of was the energy that they were feeling and the things that they were saying. And her body language to them was like, you know, this girl's a crazy emotional chick that gets overly emotional. Just like you'd look at a man and say, you know, this person is a physical, hot-headed man. It's very complicated. But the takeaway here today, you guys, is to be very careful who you let into your lives, and to make sure that you vet the people that your sons and daughters and grandchildren are with. Be the bad guy. Do the snooping. Yes, do the snooping. If I would have been a snoop like my ex was to me, I would have saved years of frustrations, emotional stress, financial destruction, if I just would have been someone who went through her emails and through her phone. I'm saying be vigilant with your daughters, with the young boys that they bring home. That's the takeaway. Be the bad parent. Be the snooper. Yes. So until next time, you guys, remember, it's better to be fooled by a narcissist, even abused by a narcissist, than to be a narcissist. Gabby's in a nice place. Rest assured, Brian is not. So until next time, this is Green's Candor, and I'm out.